Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope your day and your week have been going very well so far. Got a new day, which of course means a new NBA player prop video to share with you guys. But first, as always, people, please make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. It helps the channel grow, and it really does mean a ton to us. With a new day comes some new opportunities to go ahead and make some money. I'm keeping things simple tonight. We have a 3-leg parlay for tonight's NBA slate. We're not going to run from it. We're not going to hide from it. We've had a really rough start to the week, 1-7 to kick off Monday and Tuesday of this week. So not great. Not great. We got some work to do here, but we're not going to get worried. We're still having a really solid year overall. And yeah, we're in a little bit of a cold drought right now with the playoffs. The playoffs have not been the kindest to us. But if you guys have been watching me for a while, you know I always bounce back. We're 223 and 190 on the year. So, I mean, yeah, even with all these losses we're piling up, we are still like 33 games above 500. So 33 bets like above 500. So we're in a really good spot still. But yeah, last night, not the best. I mean, everything was so close too. And that was the frustrating part. Like Michael Porter Jr. was 2 rebounds away. Aaron Gordon was like 2 or 3 points plus assists away. Isaiah Hartenstein, thank God, came through for us, so we didn't have another 0-4 performance. And then Mathurin, I just only played like 11 minutes last night. So it was a struggle. It was definitely a struggle. But again, we're still really solid. Parlays and single bets, we're still up over 22 units profit on the year. So we're still doing good. Our record's definitely taking some hits. Coming into the playoffs, we were up over 30 units profit. So the playoffs, again, have not been super kind to us. But it's not going to deter me. We still got more videos to do. We still got a lot more games to go. So we're going to bounce back, guys. This is a little bit of a cold streak. Cold streaks happen. This is not the first cold streak we've had this season, as a matter of fact. But we're going to bounce back today. I can feel it coming, guys. 3-leg parlay coming your way right now. And by the way, guys, although I'm cold here, and not to plug my other videos, but I do daily MLB player prop videos as well as the daily NBA player prop videos. And although I'm cold in the NBA right now, I am dialed in and red hot in the MLB. And it's really funny how that works because at the start of the MLB season, I was the coldest man on the planet, but in the NBA, I was the hottest man on the planet, and now it's kind of reversed. Now NBA have cooled off, but MLB, I'm red hot. We're right now on a 20-4 run since last Monday. So a little over a week, we're on a 20-4 run. We're 43-18 since, I don't have the exact date, somewhere in, I think it was early April. We really turned this thing around. 43-18, 20-4 in the last week and a half. So we're on a phenomenal run there. So if you guys haven't already, check out my MLB videos. A ton of great value. We have 5 picks we handed out already this morning in that video. But getting back to today's video, the first leg of our 3-leg parlay, we're targeting the Knicks-Celtics Game 5, 7 p.m. tip-off. We're going Derek White of the Boston Celtics over 20.5 points plus assists. We're grabbing this from -240 over on FanDuel. Yes, we are using alternate lines for this parlay, and we're also using FanDuel as the host, if you will, of this parlay. So 3-leg parlay on FanDuel. Our first leg, Derek White, over 20.5 points plus assists. Data, obviously, being alternate line is going to be pretty solid. Now, it should be noted this line is elevated a little bit, mostly due to the fact that Jason Tatum obviously not playing. Prayers out to Tatum, who obviously was announced yesterday officially. We already knew it, but he had surgery on his torn Achilles, and he's out for this year, pretty much out for all next year. And the Celtics, they're in a dire situation. But I do think in a weird way this game is going to go a little different than most people think. I think a lot of people think the Celtics will roll over and die here, and this will be the end of their season. I do think the Boston's going to lose this series. The series is over. The season's over. But I do think Game 5 in Boston, first game after that emotional, Tatum injury and everything, I could see this team rallying a little bit and winning this game and forcing a Game 6 back in New York. Could I be wrong? Of course. I mean, it's, any given day, any given Sunday is the same in football, but anything can happen. But I do think Boston bounces back. I think Derek White is a big reason why that happens. So I think his line of over 20.5 points plus assists is pretty solid. Now, 8 of his last 10 games, he's cashed the over, averaging 22.6 points plus assists per game over his last 10 games. So far in this series, they played 4 games. He's cashed this over in 3 of the 4 games in this series. Aside from Tatum, who honestly, yeah, he had a great Game 4, but he wasn't even playing that well early on. He's been the most consistent player Boston has had throughout the entire 4-game series thus far. And with Tatum being out, I expect Derek White to really step up in his absence. Don't believe me? Let's look at the numbers this year when Jason Tatum does not play for Boston. And Derek White, on this line in particular, a 100% hit rate this year when Jason Tatum does not play. 9 games without Tatum, 100% hit rate, averaging 26 points plus assists per game without Jason Tatum in the lineup, especially with the way that Jaylen Brown has been playing lately. Derek White has basically become the go-to guy offensively for the Celtics team, although I do think Jaylen Brown has a good game tonight too. Derek White in particular loved this spot. His last 20 games, dating back to last year without Tatum, 14 of his last 15 games without Jason Tatum, he's cashed this line. It's a 93% hit rate, averaging 26.8 points plus assists per game over the last 15 games without Tatum. Now, that should be pretty much all I have to show you guys to convince you, but I will show you guys the rest of the data, obviously, on the season for this year, including playoffs. 60% hit rate for Derek White, averaging 21.28 points plus assists per game overall this year. And in the head-to-head category, 8 of his last 13 matchups with the Knicks, including playoffs, he's cashed the over. It's a 62% hit rate, averaging 20.38 points plus assists per game across the last 13 matchups with New York. Now, they played 8 times this year, including playoffs. Derek White has cashed the over in 7 out of 8 games against the Knicks this year. The only game he missed, it was Game 3, where he just barely missed it with 17 points and 2 assists. So really good numbers. And the Knicks defensive versus shooting guards this year, 22nd in points, 14th in assists. So really phenomenal numbers here for Derek White as the first leg of our 3-leg parlay. And guys, before we dive into the final 2 legs of today's parlay, please comment down below, let's see. How do I want to word that? Let's say keeping the faith or keep the faith. Whatever you want. Keeping the faith, keep the faith, however you want to word that. Comment, keep the faith down below if you're still watching and still riding with me in today's video. I get it. I know. We sucked. I saw a couple people like, oh, 0-4, I'm turning off the video. Understandable. I'm cold right now. You may want to fade me. That's why we wear the shirts. I'm not wearing it right now. We wear the fade me shirts. But those who have been here all these years and all these months and whatever, who have been watching me, you know, yeah, I can get cold sometimes, but boy, do we get hot immediately after. So maybe it starts today, and if it does, this could be a good start. So comment keeping the faith or keep the faith down below in the comment section if you're still watching today's video. And as always, guys, I appreciate those who watch through each and every video here on the channel. Whether we win, whether we lose, we put a lot of hard work into it, so we appreciate those who watch all the way through. All right, guys, in the second leg of our 3-leg parlay, we're actually going to go ahead and stick with this Celtics-Knicks Game 5. We're going Mikal Bridges of the New York Knicks over 14.5 points plus assists. High alternate line, minus 270 over on FanDuel. But the data is absolutely fantastic here. 7 of his last 10 games, he's cashed the over, averaging 18.2 points plus assists per game over his last 10. So far in this series, 3 out of 4 games he's cashed the over. The one game he missed it, Game 3, he literally missed it by 1. He had 12 points and 2 assists in that game. But really solid numbers. I've actually go ahead and narrow it down. 4 of his last 5, averaging 20.4 points plus assists per game. And you know the volume's obviously going to be there. He's averaging about 44 minutes per game over the last 5. On the road, potential closeout game in Boston, high stakes. He's averaging a lot of shots. And I mean, Game 4 in particular, he took 21 shots. He's averaging about 15.6 shot attempts per game over the last 5. So a lot of minutes played, a lot of shot attempts. I think Mikal Bridges in a lot of ways, I don't want to say he's the most, obviously Brunson's the go-to. And then probably Towns after that. But I think Bridges has very much solidified himself as the 3rd option offensively for this Knicks team. And obviously, with they only play like a 6-man rotation, being the 3rd man in a 6-man playoff rotation means a lot of volume and a lot of work here. And the further you go ahead and stretch the numbers out, I mean, it just gets better. The last 20 games, 75% hit rate, averaging 19.75 points plus assists per game. So far this year, an 83% hit rate on this over, 76 out of 92 games, including playoffs, he's cashed the over, averaging 21 points plus assists per game overall this season. And from a head-to-head perspective, 8 of his last 12 matchups with the Boston Celtics, he's cashed the over. It's a 67% hit rate against Boston, averaging 18.17 points plus assists per game over the last 12 games. They played 8 times this year. He's cashed the over in 6 of the 8 games. And the 2 games that he missed it, they were very narrow misses. 11 points, 2 assists here. 12 points, 2 assists there. So really good numbers across the board here. And, you know, the Celtics, they rank defensively pretty well. And obviously, they're going to play physical and intense at home. But I like the spot a lot for Bridges as the second leg of our 3-leg parlay. And wrapping things up, guys, our 3rd leg of our 5-leg parlay. We're moving on to Warriors Timberwolves Game 5, 9:30 p.m. tip-off. We're going Buddy Hield of the Golden State Warriors over 12.5 points plus assists, minus 240 over on FanDuel. Now, the overall data is not great here, but the recent data is pretty solid. He's cashed in 7 of his last 10 games. And actually, if we go ahead and narrow this down a little bit, each of his last 5 games, he's cashed the over. It's a 100% hit rate, averaging 22.4 points plus assists per game over his last 5 games. Now, on Monday, I bet him on his straight line, and he did lead me astray. However, this is an alternate line, a little bit safer here, and he did cash the alternate line in Game 4 with 13 points and 1 assist in that game. Now, obviously, betting on a player like Buddy Hield, who's a role player, who is not the most consistent. Yes, he's on a really good run lately, but Again, if you look at the overall numbers, even at this alternate line on the year, say 48% hit rate on the over. 45 out of 94 games, including playoffs, he's cashed the over, averaging 12.88 points plus assists per game overall this year. So yes, although lately it's been pretty good, the overall numbers seem to suggest he's not all that consistent. Now, the reason why I'm still confident in taking this, despite the fact that it was a very narrow cash in Game 4, well, most importantly, the fact that Steph Curry is still out, so Golden State needs people that can score. They need offensive input from somewhere. But the volume has been there. Look at the minutes played. I mean, he's averaging almost 35 minutes per game over the last 5. Game 4, obviously, no Curry. He played almost 35 minutes. He's taking about 14 shots per game. Now, he's not shooting the ball well, and that's the key thing. He cashed this line, but he left a lot of opportunity on the table in Game 4. Shot 4 for 11. If you look at the three-point shooting, 2 for 6, which isn't terrible. But he also had 7 potential assists and only recorded 1 assist in Game 7. So he left 6 potential assists on the floor, and he also shot 4 for 11. So there was a lot of opportunity. He already cashed the over anyways with those numbers being where they were, but he could have done way more, and that to me is the encouraging thing coming into a pivotal Game 5 for the Warriors. This is do or die for them, and they need Buddy Hield to step up if they're going to win this game, and I think he can. And honestly, if you narrow the data down to the games this year without Steph Curry, it's actually been really good. He's played 15 games, including playoffs, without Steph, and he's cashed the over in 10 out of those 15 games. That's a 67% hit rate, averaging 15.73 points plus assists per game this year without Steph Curry. So really good numbers, honestly, without Steph in the lineup. And again, 3 games so far in this Timberwolves series, they play without Steph, and he's cashed the over all 3 without Steph. So pretty good numbers there without Steph Curry, honestly. And then with or without Steph Curry, he's on a really good run versus Minnesota. 7 consecutive games, including all 4 games of this series thus far. He's cashed the over against Minnesota. Really good numbers. So he's on a good run. He's played them 8 times this year. He's cashed the over in 7 out of 8. But again, 7 consecutive matchups dating back to December 8th. He's cashed the over against Minnesota. So really good numbers from a recent standpoint. Numbers without Curry. Numbers against Minnesota. Everything points to this being a solid player prop. Yes, I know it's Buddy Hield, and the line's 12.5, and it's still risky. But I do like the spot here, and I do think with the Warriors, with their backs against the wall, they're going to need players to step up. And we did see Buddy Hield in the last series versus Houston step up when they needed him most. So I'm hoping we can see something similar here tonight versus Minnesota. Could I be wrong? Totally. But I do like Buddy Hield in this spot. So jumping on over to FanDuel, quick little recap here. Mikal Bridges over 14.5 points plus assists. Derek White over 20.5 points plus assists, and Buddy Hield over 12.5 points plus assists. You parlay all 3 together, you get a parlay of plus 176 over on FanDuel. Again, nothing too crazy here. We're not trying to chase our losses and get a massive parlay. 3-leg parlay plus 176 odds. Pretty good value here for 3 players with solid data and solid opportunities. So that's our 3-leg parlay for today's video. Guys, thank you very much as always for watching. One more time, please make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. We'll be back tomorrow with another NBA player prop video. But until then, guys, I hope you're all winners. Enjoy your day. Make sure if you haven't already to check out my MLB video. Again, we're 20-4 run. You don't want to miss out on the player props we're handing out over there. We are red hot right now. Plenty of new player props handed out in today's video. And yeah, hope you guys are all winners. We'll be back tomorrow. Until then, let's go ahead and win some money.